It feels like there are some cracks in the hype cycle. Look, there's always a little bit of like what goes up must come down at some point. And for a society that as a whole seems to have a little bit of an ADD problem, feels like we've been all of us have been excited about generative AI for a number of months now, years. So it's going to be interesting to see like how long that lasts. It seems like it's constantly fueled by the new thing and the new thing and the new thing. And we're like talking about Llama 3 a second ago, but there's also the Microsoft, speaking images thing. And, there's always something new to be excited about. And that has been fueling the hype cycle. At the same time, here and there, there's what feels like cracks. So, in particular, there seems to be perhaps the recognition that if you're not OpenAI, if you're not Anthropic, but you are just a little behind as a startup, things are a bit tougher than they may appear. So I'm thinking about a couple of recent examples: Inflection AI and Stability. Why would a company that raised $1.3 billion and was very early in its development decide to sell itself? If they had something unbelievable going on, they would probably not have made that decision. And same thing for Stability. So the CEO had been controversial for a while, but same idea. If the company was doing incredibly well, whether the CEO was controversial or not would not have been as much of an issue. So I think those are two telltale examples of what might be happening. And then there's like all the stories we've read in the press or heard, talking in startup circles. There's like the Jasper example. The most recent thing is Tome that laid off some folks. Bottom line is like, yes, there's a lot of hype. Yes, it's easy if you have the right backgrounds and the right story to raise money. It doesn't mean that all of this transforms overnight into a very successful business. And there's, still a number of questions around, okay, well, what are the actual use cases for all the things, right? So we all loved playing with ChatGPT. We all loved playing with Midjourney, and Midjourney has built what seems to be an unbelievable business with people effectively playing with stuff. Whatever their revenue are like 200 million or 300 million with like 40 people, so presumably insanely profitable. But now we're getting into that stage where like, okay, all right, this is awesome. Clearly, this is the future. The world is changing. We want to be part of it. But what does that mean in terms of like my personal use cases? Like how often do you or I use like Claude or ChatGPT on a daily basis or not? And in the enterprise, there's the coding use case. There is the kind of like internal search / knowledge management use case. But what are the other use cases where generative AI is going as promised to just completely change everything? That's still being determined.
So we're seeing some slight cracks. Was 2023 a head fake? What's going to happen in 2024? Any thoughts around that?
Yeah, so look, in terms of a head fake, we don't know. What we do know, working with a number of players in the enterprise arena in particular, is that a lot of the money that came out, that the generative AI purchases came out of were innovation budgets rather than actual operational budgets. And that's, a feature, not a bug, because that's what innovation budgets are for. But the big question is whether now we are going to go from this kind of innovation budget moment, bring in Accenture, let's do a POC kind of thing, to now, okay, we're serious, we've identified the use cases, we're grabbing money from operational budgets where we may actually be removing money from one bucket to put it in this bucket kind of thing. And that's going to be the big opportunity and challenge of 2024. So it seems to be moving in that direction, but we don't know We don't know yet. It feels like a lot of the industry is now waiting with bated breath for GPT-5 and how much of a jump GPT-5 is going to be in terms of overall performance over GPT-4. I think is going to be super interesting, very much like a bellwether of like where the industry might be going. It sort of feels like if it's an incremental improvement, that may signify that this part of the hype cycle is ending. If it's crazy as everybody's hoping, then yes, then it feels like we're still very much in that exponential curve somewhere. We don't know where exactly, but then that'll be a very exciting moment.